What's going on, everyone? So it is absolutely wild that LeBron James and Luka are on the same team. And I cannot wait till these two are on the same court together. So originally Luka was scheduled to play on Saturday, but JJ Redick talked that, hey, it's probably going to be on Monday is now the new target date, just because they're trying to let him kind of get himself together. They worked on 5-on-5s. They're going to do another kind of stay ready practice and stuff. And so they want to kind of, take their time weaning him in, kind of let him get familiar and acclimated just with LA, get settled in, right? I mean, get over the shock of he was betrayed. Dude, the guy's probably hurt, right? I mean, you could see the hurt on his face, right? It's like showing up and your girlfriend's locked you out of the house and all your stuff is out on the front porch and you're like, why? Like, how did this happen, right? Like, where did this come from? It came out of left field and she's got a new boyfriend that you never knew about, right? Like, he's like, how did this happen, right? Like, where did we go wrong, right? Like, we just got married. We were supposed to be forever and now that's it, right? Like, and you didn't even give me a notice. You didn't give me a heads up, nothing, right? Like, Luka's going through it, I'm sure, but you can see the excitement. LeBron James has an entirely new pep in his step. Dude, the guy looks 20 again. The guy is just, every time he does something crazy, he's like looking at Luka, right? I mean, you can see he is pumped because he finally got a guy that's better than him, right? He's finally got that clear number one option. He's finally got that guy that can take the mantle, right? We all love Anthony Davis, but there were genuine questions, right? Genuine questions of, is he the guy that we can build around? Is he the guy to take over the mantle and pass the torch? I mean, LeBron, countless times was trying to get him to like, hey, he's our best player. He's this, he's that. And there's just times where he looks every bit the part and then some. And then there's times where it's just like, you need somebody else. Well, now you got somebody else. Now you got Luka. But the two guys now, I guess three guys, Mark Williams, definitely, but we got to see him on the basketball court, and I think he's going to feast. I think he's going to eat, but I did a whole video on Luka and Mark Williams, so check that video out after this one, of course. But the two guys that I think now are the most important and impactful, and I talked about this before, but now that the trade deadline settled and the dust is all settled, Dorian Finney-Smith and Jared Vanderbilt are so important to this team. I don't want this to go, I don't want people to overlook this, right? Like, these two guys might be the biggest factors outside of LeBron, Luka, and Mark Williams, just because he's our center now for now in the future, and Luka really loves that lob threat. Austin Reeves is fantastic, don't get me wrong. He can be a little inconsistent at times, right? I've been critical of Austin Reeves, but he's very good, right? And gives you another ball handler, another scorer. I'm hoping that with Luka, Reeves can kind of settle in as like a scorer and kind of play more of like the two guard spot. But regardless, the two biggest X factors, in my opinion, are going to be these two. Because these are the only two guys that we have that have true size and versatility out on the perimeter defensively. Right? These guys are going to make it easier on guys like Mark Williams on the interior, protecting the paint, being that rim protector. Jared Vanderbilt, I mean, the dude is special. I mean, even last night, right? He had 14 rebounds, including 4 offensive rebounds, and the Lakers only had 7 total. Right, so you accounted for more than half of those. Right, he is so important and impactful to this team. It cannot go unnoticed. It cannot go without mentioning. These two guys are everything for this team. Because again, we didn't get anybody else at the trade deadline. We didn't go get a Bruce Brown or something like that to where it's like, okay, now you have that other perimeter guy. No, it's on the shoulder of these two guys. Right, these two guys are going to be essentially the anchors of our defense along with Mark Williams, right? Obviously, you have guys like Gabe Vincent. He can do that. I wish we would have been able to keep Max Christie, but if that's the difference between you getting Luka or not, you got to give that up. But Max Christie would have given you another piece on the inside, on the interior. That would have been fantastic. But regardless, right, these two guys, particularly Jared Vanderbilt, we need 100% Jared Vanderbilt. He's operating on probably like 70% right now. If we can get peak Jared Vanderbilt, Lakers are going to be terrifying. just because of his hustle, his grit, the dirty work that he does, the way he impacts the game. Lakers are 6-0 with Jared Vanderbilt. Lakers have not lost a game with Jared Vanderbilt in the lineup. Like, think about that. It's how impactful he is. We saw last time he was healthy when we acquired him, right? Lakers went from, middle of the pack defensively to literally the best defense in the entire league. Why? Because of how much ground this man covers. This guy covers an insane... I mean, how many times do we talk about and joke about, like, dude, it's like this guy's teleporting out there. It's like this guy using instant transmission, right? Like, is this dude Goku? Like, it's insane watching the defensive impact that he has, the ground he covers, the rebounding, the hustle plays, the dirty work, right? Like, this is a guy that you need out there. Luka and LeBron are going to be able to generate enough offense for you to be one of, if not the best offensive teams in the league. You need the defensive side of the ball now more than ever. And Jared Vanderbilt is the biggest anchor for that. Because, again, he's so incredibly impactful. He is so significant and important to this team that, he was already important. All right? He already was such a key piece with Anthony Davis. Right? Like, that's what was so exciting. That was what all the hype was about. That's why we were all like, man, he could really be an X factor. Well, he's even more needed and more impactful and more of an X factor now than ever because you don't have Anthony Davis. You don't have AD that you can default to on the defensive side of things and the ground that he covers and all that stuff. No, you have Jared Vanderbilt and you have Dorian Finney-Smith. Which Dorian Finney-Smith, again, another guy that covers a bunch of ground, not to the scale of... Jared Vanderbilt is arguably, if not clearly, the best perimeter defender and on-ball defender in the entire NBA, especially when he's healthy and 100%. Right? That dude is an absolute menace. Dorian Finney-Smith is a very good defense player as well, and he's also Luka's, guy, right? So he already has built-in chemistry, right? Him and Luka should be able to play off of each other very well. Right? There's a lot to kind of be excited for and buy into here with these two. And I'm pumped. I am really looking forward to kind of seeing how Jared Vanderbilt and Dorian Finney-Smith have the impact for this team. But these guys, Dorian Finney-Smith, I mean, he can't go unnoticed. I mean, at some point, you're going to have to move him into the starting unit. You are. You have to go and you have to move, in my opinion, Rui to... I would start both of them, if I'm being honest. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think Austin Reeves is probably going to be the starter. But if it was me, I would go with Luka, Jared Vanderbilt, Dorian Finney-Smith, LeBron James, and Mark Williams. I think between the shot creation and the scoring ability of LeBron and Luka, I think you have more than enough offense in your starting unit. Dorian Finney-Smith can be your, catch-and-shoot three-point shooter. I think you're fine. Right, you can always make the adjustment. 4 minutes in, it's like, we're not generating enough offense. Hey, Reeves, get in there, and you could take out a Vando or Dorian Finney-Smith. I think that's probably the best approach. But again, to be honest, I don't think the Lakers are going to do that. But you got to at least get Dorian Finney-Smith in the starting unit and then bring Jared Vanderbilt off the bench for now. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass the question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Kind of mix in the middle. Again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it either way, so let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.